Hello, mortals! I am the BookTube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. In this series, I analyze Critical Role in terms of story, and we are on episode 6. As per usual, there will be spoilers. Please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There are only 2 words to describe this episode: info dump. Yes, this was an info dump episode, which means we were spoon-fed a lot of the backstories of the characters rather than having the events reveal that information, with one exception, which I'll get to later. Info dumps are usually frowned upon in stories because it's considered a lazy way of revealing information to the audience. Rather than having the information woven through the storytelling, there are huge blocks of information dumped, which is hard to absorb because usually there's so much of it. In novels, this can happen in science fiction and fantasy a lot because sometimes the author feels he needs to impart large aspects of the world building that's important to the story. When that happens, you'll see pages and pages of what the world is like, how the magic system or the technology works, or the history and backstory of the characters. Now, is this always a fatal flaw? No. Actually, I recently read the novel The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik, which is a dark academia novel. Very dark, actually, where those with magical powers are placed in a school, which then kills off half the students, and those who survive graduate. It's kind of a Lovecraftian version of Hogwarts, and it's the first novel in a series, and if you're interested, it does get my blessing. Now, when I was reading it, there were long passages about how magic works and the history of magic and the school, and it wasn't until afterwards that I realized the author was info dumping on me, but I was eating it up because it was so fascinating and told in such a humorous and entertaining manner. So yeah, there are exceptions to every rule, but you need to be a master storyteller like Naomi Novik to pull it off. By the way, I haven't read anything by Naomi Novik that I haven't liked. Especially check out her standalone fantasy novels, Spinning Silver and Uprooted. Anyway, the question is, did it work here? D&D campaigns are a totally different medium than books and not really meant to even have an audience, but it's Critical Role. We're breaking new ground. We have been teased about the characters' backgrounds before in prior episodes, and we know these backgrounds usually form the bases for subplots in the campaign. Here, in this episode, they were revealed in the most lazy manner I could imagine. A truth or dare type drinking game with dice, where there are no dares, just the characters being forced to reveal their backstories. But would the humor and improvisation skills of the players carry us through? Obviously, they were trying to reveal as little as possible since, in character, the characters didn't want to reveal much. So, was it entertaining? I'm sure everyone's mileage is going to vary. If you found it a good episode or were entertained, let me know in the comments. But for me, it was meh. Of course, I thought parts were funny and I laughed a couple times, and it was fun seeing the players squirm trying to figure out how to answer questions without revealing too much.
What the fuck is up with that?
I guess I'm not very good at answering questions.
I'll try a third one. Maybe
Oh, no.
we'll go easier. How about easier?
So it was fun to watch their live reactions to each other's revelations. But ultimately, I thought this device was pretty uninspiring and made for my least favorite episode to date. But putting it in perspective, there will probably be hundreds of episodes in this campaign, and this episode 6 is just going to be a little blip, and we'll soon forget about it, but it is what it is. Now, regarding the game they were playing, it was some sort of inside joke among the Critical Role players that I didn't really care about. It was basically a dice game where they all rolled a 20-sided dice. The high roller got to ask the question, the low roller had to answer. But we did find out a few things, so let's look at some highlights. Fresh cut grass, our little automaton, has lived about 2 years and doesn't dream or doesn't think he dreams when he goes into stasis, which is his version of sleep. But most interesting is some memory malfunction where either he can't access some of his memories or somehow he's prevented from disclosing certain information.
Are they the only ones like me I ever knew?
Yeah, or are there more? Or where do you come from and what the fuck is up with that?
Well, it up.
Stop it. That shot.
What's happening?
That.
Is this how he dodges questions?
No, not at all.
Are you okay?
I just don't.
You have no memory.
Do you not have access to that?
You don't have access.
Access? What do you mean? I don't understand either.
What does it mean?
Sounds right.
Fern and I don't really know.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Actually, we're just really excited.
Okay. Yeah. I can pick this up.
Dancer created me.
I asked too much. Do you know how old you are?
I was with Dancer for almost 2 years. So 2?
Dorian, we discover, is actually rich or comes from a wealthy family, but we'll get more into that later. Fern is from the Feywild, which is a callback, at least for me, to the Vox Machina campaign where they traveled to another plane of existence where the Fey lived. And I apologize if I've been mispronouncing Vox Machina. I know I've pronounced it 100 different ways, but I've been told that it's pronounced with a hard K. Just forgive me if I slip up and mispronounce this or something else, because it's me. Another callback to the Vox Machina campaign was to Laudna, and I'm sure Critical Role fans went crazy about this because I know I did. We knew that Laudna was from Whitestone, where a lot of the Vox Machina campaign took place, and we knew she spoke about a voice in her head. What we didn't know was that voice belonged to Delilah Briarwood, which may have been the highlight, at least for me, in this episode.
Laudna, as you were starting to doze off a bit in that kind of bit of gentle quiet, you do hear a familiar whisper. It says, "Careful, dear. Some things are meant to be kept secret."
Oh, hello. Oh my God, it's been so long since I've heard from you. What have you been up to? Oh, come on, Dee, just tell me.
Please, just be careful.
Oh, I didn't say anything that's not like public knowledge. So back off.
That's the end of it.
Good night.
Was she talking to you?
Yes, she's mad because I got chatty.
Has she ever done anything? If you get in trouble with her?
Have I gotten in trouble with her?
Yeah, I mean, I know she's been pissy before, but has it ever come to anything?
I don't know, has it ever come to anything?
It's come to tense conversations.
Yeah.
And threats of denying her gift.
Her gifts, right.
But not yet.
Yeah, she'll
It took me that long to put it together. Fuck.
she'll sometimes, be like, oh, I helped made you. You would be nothing without me. I can take what I can give. Blah, blah, blah. She does that sometimes, but she's never really done it. I don't know.
We gotta get into that institute.
I know. If I can just keep strengthening my skills without her,
You won't need her
I won't need her.
if she's listening.
Oh, she probably is. It's an excellent point, though. I've never really strayed far from her up until recently.
Right?
Well, I'll keep you posted if she starts getting aggressive.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I think we need a group name. The sooner we have it, the sooner we have a contract, the sooner we can get in there.
That's true.
Right?
We'll keep thinking on it. Maybe, something will inspire us in the next day or two.
Yeah.
Delilah Briarwood was one of the main villains and arch nemesis of Vox Machina, who we thought was dead. Speaking of dead, it was confirmed that Laudna is some sort of undead, probably killed by Delilah or one of the Briarwoods and brought back to life. We also discovered that the reason she and Imogen want to get into the magical university was to find some way to free Laudna from Delilah. I thought it was for Imogen to find out more about her psychic telepathic powers, so that's a nice plot twist, at least for me. Now, the biggest revelation involved Orem, who finally revealed why he was in Drusar with Dorian and Fern, and it was also the least interesting, at least for me. And this is the problem with infodumps. My eyes glazed over when he was talking about why he was here, and I didn't retain anything. In fact, I've had to go back and rewatch the episode and look up what happened on a fan wiki to figure out what was going on. But basically, we find out that Orem's home of Zephyra was attacked and people disintegrated. A similar attack was reported here in Drusar, and Orem was sent to investigate, and the lead was to find Oshad Brescio, aka the Anger. And the similar attack that occurred on this part of the world was on the Loomis twins, who Oshad was working for, and I think Oshad is somewhere recuperating. I don't know why, but I'm just not as interested in this as, for example, the Laudna storyline. The actual plot development was minimal. Basically, we're at the point where the characters don't know what to do next. So we get them going to the Corsairs, then to Ashton's friend Annie, who is a bard, and there's a little musician's duel with Dorian, which was kind of fun. Then to Imogen and Laudna's place, where we meet Zudana, an old woman played by Matt Mercer, who plays her to perfection.
Oh, Shadana!
Hold on.
Fried plantains.
You hear ping, 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 ping.
No! Dang it.
Oh, well, I just go in and make sure she's okay. I'll clean this up.
Oh, don't worry. I can handle it.
No, you should go over. Go meet the friends.
We have company. Is it all right?
That's wonderful.
All right. A big group. Brace yourselves. Come in.
As you all walk in, you see this delightfully sweet smile on this elderly woman, darker, deep brown, tanned, wrinkled skin from just life and sun and vibrancy.
Oh, well, it is an honor to have you in my home. I fear that we're out of beds.
No.
But we have room on the floor, and I can retrieve
Shadana.
some.
No, you're so sweet. We're just popping by for a moment.
Oh,
Just
well,
wanted to
I
introduce you.
I was making lunch.
I'll help.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
Finally, we go back to Lord Esteros, where they get one clue that people are disappearing from the Dreamscape Theater, which has been mentioned a few times in other episodes, so that was a nice bit of foreshadowing. So the party goes there to investigate, and they buy tickets to see the show, and that's basically it. Very little plot development in this episode. Oh, except for one thing. Remember I said there was one backstory revelation that wasn't an info dump? We get that here at the end of this episode when Dorian's brother shows up and privately reveals himself to Dorian. His brother is Cyrus, and we find out that Dorian ran away from his wealthy family for some reason, and now his brother also ran away. We're not sure the reason for this or what it means, but it's a teaser probably for the next episode.
As you're about to leave the staircase into the open light of the arrangement, you feel a hand grab your chest from the side, a person who was kind of hiding in the shadow there that you didn't notice, who just kind of holds you there. And a voice goes, "What are you doing?"
We're just here to see a show.
No, what are you doing?
We're searching for. We heard someone was missing here.
You look up and you can see like the gauntleted hand of the leather-clad individual, the hood just barely visible from the light that's creeping through from beyond the curtain from the main chamber itself, holding you there. Pulls the hood back, and you can see there's the square jaw and kind of wavy mop of shoulder-length black hair with the gold septum-piercing, sea glass green eyes of the burly, familiar visage of Cyrus Wyvernwind.
Oh, what was that? What?
Who goes, "What are you doing?"
I'm on my own. Let go of me. And I'm gonna push his hand away.
She kind of looks nervously about. "We need to talk."
Here now?
Soon.
Fine. Just... How are you here? How did you get away?
Same way you did.
No. But Mother... Father, what are they doing without you?
I don't know. I just followed your lead. As he looks down at you, your taller brother. Maybe we are meant to wander, I don't know. And his hand reaches out, and this time less aggressively, but just kind of presses it against your chest and says, "We'll talk."
We should.
After.
All right.
Then he just goes to the curtain back into the main room.
But also it shows a difference between an info dump and revealing information through story development. It was more exciting, dramatic, and memorable to find out about Dorian's backstory through the brother than just being revealed through a drinking game. Now, though I wasn't sure about the character of Dorian because I wasn't familiar with his player, Robbie Damon, because Robbie wasn't one of the original Critical Role players, but now I've warmed up to him and was enjoying Dorian. Originally, I thought he was just going to be a guest player, but then I came to accept him as one of the main players. Now, maybe he has been a guest player all this time. I'm suffering a little bit of whiplash. Will this new plot development end with Dorian being removed from the game? And obviously we haven't met Travis Willingham's new character. We saw Travis at the start of the episode to do a skit for a sponsor, but he's been sidelined for a while now. I still think he'll be Oshad or the Anger, but my confidence in that prediction is waning, especially since someone in the comments mentioned that the name sounds like something Matt Mercer would create. I'm also thinking that Bertrand Bell's death seems a little premature now, since Travis has been sidelined for so long. So I'm wondering if his death wasn't actually a consequence of the silly decision to go wandering out alone drunk at night. Maybe since Travis knew his character was supposed to meet a tragic end, he was going out of his way to put Bertrand in dangerous situations, and it certainly seemed that way to me. But maybe Matt had planned something else for Bertrand, but since Bertrand was acting so foolishly, he felt compelled to kill him off early. I don't know. I really have no idea. I just think it's odd that one of the main cast members is being sidelined for so long. But I guess we'll find out soon enough. Since not much happened in this episode, I suspect that we're being set up for some bigger event in the next episode. Dare I think that we may get some combat. Until we meet again, may all the books you read and the campaigns you play in be blessed.